Do not adjust your screens right now. Yes, that is right. It is Out of Pocket with Michael Davis here on the Boom Broadcasting's stream. Now, what I wanted to do today is we'll talk some NFL, we'll talk some WWE for Top Rope Tuesday. But the big thing I wanted to do today was bring two guys who were very vital in Boom Broadcasting's launch on yesterday. One of them, he posted his first video yesterday with quick hits, interviewing another guy in Boom Broadcasting, Aaron Schneider. In addition, my guy from Mouth Off with Mike, great wrestling podcast, decided to put his facial hair on the line. He is saying that if his channel gets 200 subscribers and this channel gets to 200 subscribers, he will do the sash. And it is going to be quite the sight. But we have to get that before the month ends out. That is the deadline to get not only Boom Broadcasting, but Mouth Off with Mike's YouTube channel to 200. And I'm actually really excited to see him sport the Dom stash. I tried to tell him yesterday when we were doing the live stream, like, what if you like shaved everything? Or no, if you just shaved the stash. Yeah, if you did the reverse. So maybe he jumps at that. Maybe he jumps at that. But you have to go subscribe to the channel so we can see what Mike looks like with just the stash. And you guys can comment just like somebody else did on our YouTube channel for Boom Broadcasting. Aaron Schneider, we just gave him a shout out a couple minutes ago. Respect for putting the facial hair on the line. Maybe I'll save something like that for another milestone for the channel. We are doing something special for our 100. So something special for 200, something really, really special for our 500 subscribers. Okay. So be sure you're part of that. And if you get to subscribe, you're part of all of our giveaways. It's a cumulative list. All of our subscribers get that opportunity to be a part of the giveaway if you're subscribed to Boom Broadcasting's YouTube channel. But guys, we have a lot to get in store. What happened over these past couple days? I mean, we've talked a little bit about it. The wide receivers right now, they're acting a little bit diva-ish. They're wanting their money. They want to get paid. And, of course, we know Brandon Ayuk's in his contract disputes. We know CD Lamb is in his contract disputes. There's reports about, CD Lamb might seek a trade. Rock Renegade saying, let's get Hebo leaves. Hebo leaves. B team, go. All right.
Does he believe in Joe Hendry?
But the wide receivers are acting a little diva-ish. And then some from SNES Fantasy Football, he was on the stream last week and got over 5,000 views on Facebook alone, by the way. That is incredible. That's wild.
A draw. The man's a draw.
The man's a draw. Me and Mike are still feeling the effects from the night
we might be in
last night.
This might be a silly, goofy kind of out of pocket, Mike. Sorry to cut you off. It's the last out of
Y'all
pocket
had too much
Top Rope Tuesday with me.
Well, never say never, okay? Never say never.
Never.
But Mike's got some big things coming up.
The best part of this show right here. The best part of the show is you got to see me. So that's the main thing.
That's fair. Honestly.
Maybe. But with these wide receivers, did want to, ask Mike real quick because, dude, Tyreek Hill just got paid and he's already asking for more money. The team needs to, go and sign Tua Tagovailoa to an extension. They just signed Jalen Waddle.
Tagovailoa.
I mean, I'm getting the pronunciation right. Maybe. But Mike, I have a real problem with Tyreek Hill saying he wants to go ahead and renegotiate his deal. And his quarterback, the guy who's throwing him the ball, is still unsigned. Like this seems very selfish from my viewpoint. Mike, do you agree or do you disagree?
This is, NFL, man. It is a finicky sport, to say the least, when it comes to free agents and big time money. We've seen guys get dealt out money over foot, hand over foot, however the saying goes. Look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Warrants a $500 million contract. Guy like Tyreek, he just got paid, like you said, Mike. So I don't understand the thought process on the Dolphins side of the coin. Looking at it from an upper management point, if they're not giving Tua money and they're not extending him, then maybe Tua's not the guy for the future in Miami.
You don't think so?
I mean, I'd like to think so, but he's had some setbacks in his career in Miami. Last year he looked, I think he looked great last year. It was one of his best years. But if they're willing to already entertain possibly paying Tyreek before their quarterback, doesn't that raise more questions than answers with this?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Tua. I feel like Tua is the guy. I mean, he was a first round pick. There's no reason to say that, he isn't the guy, especially overcoming the concussion issues he had a couple years ago to come back with the year he did. Shan, I feel like Tyreek needs to recognize that he needs a quarterback throwing him the ball, and they need to surround him with talent. Tyreek can't be the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, apparently he's pretty much making the reasoning of that he should. So, considering the fact he wants to renegotiate his contract and get paid more, I'm pretty sure that's what he's wanting to do. Which makes no sense to me, because you want to see, this is what's happened with quarterbacks. The reason why guys like Michael Vick didn't win anything in Atlanta is because those guys asked for so much money and they couldn't pay anybody else. You look at what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady took pay cuts under the table just to keep the team together. You look at what LeBron may do right now with his squad. He's taking a pay cut in order to make this team a whole lot better. So if you're going to suck up all the money, what are you going to do with the rest of your team? You're going to put no-name guys out there and think you're going to win anything? No, you're not. You need to go in there, and not saying that Tyreek Hill needs to devalue himself, because he's already got the highest, he's got the biggest contract of any receiver right now. But the other receivers are asking for more money. So he's like, look, if I'm going to be the best and I feel like I'm the best, I'm taking all the money, which is dumb in my opinion. But I guess he must feel like that there's another guy out there better than Tua Tagovailoa, even though he played with a Patrick Mahomes that won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
All
right.
Let's take a look at this. So Tyreek Hill signed a 4-year, $120 million contract. He's getting $72 million guaranteed, and he got a $25.5 million signing bonus. And just a month ago, June 3rd, who I feel is the best wide receiver in professional football at the current level, Justin Jefferson, just signed that $140 million deal. So to me, it seems like after seeing that contract, Tyreek felt some type of way. It was like, whoa, he's getting $110 million guaranteed. He's making $140 million. How come I'm not making that type of money? Well, Tyreek, you're 30 years old and Justin Jefferson's 25. At this point in the game,
let me tell you what these guys need to understand right here. Look at your hands, fellas. What have you not got on your hands? No rings. Just like these guys just want all this daggum money right here. First and foremost, Justin Jefferson better find out who in the world's going to be his quarterback. Because if you think he's going to win something with Sam Darnold, good friggin' luck. No disrespect to Sam Darnold, because he didn't play with a line, and the poor guy's gun shy for everything in this world. And Tua's been beat up, which is another thing. So how in the world are you going to sit around here and expect yourself to get paid that much money when you haven't really proven yourself yet? See, Tyreek Hill does have a ring. He has one with Pat Mahomes, but ever since he left out of Kansas City, what has he got? He lost to the same squad that he left. So, my friend, if I were you, I might want to reconsider some things, because Kansas City went out there and won a Super Bowl without you.
Well, I mean, and the 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl in quite some time, but they're having their own wide receiver disputes with Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk saying in an interview last week that he's taking this personal. And I don't know why he would be taking it personal. He's not even like, dude, honestly, I don't even know if he's like the 5th most valuable player on offense because you got
ouch.
Not so fast.
Hold up. You got McCaffrey. You got Debo. You got Trent Williams. You got Brock Purdy. You got George Kittle. I just named 5 guys I'd prefer on my team over Brandon Ayuk. Shannon, I know you're the 49ers guy, but I mean, that's what it's looking like right now.
Are you done? Are you done?
You're out of pocket on that one.
First and foremost, my friend, in order for you to say some things, you better get to an NFC championship first and foremost and win one.
Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from?
I'm not going to wait till quick hits. I'm not waiting till quick hits. I'm going to cook you right now, my friend. First and foremost, let me tell you this right here. Brandon Ayuk was drafted to be where he's at right now with this squad because Deebo Samuel has been getting hurt lately. One thing about Deebo Samuel, he changes the dynamic of the team. Yes, he does. But when he's on the field, he changes the dynamic of the team. Now, let me explain a little something to you. Look at those stats and see who led the 49ers in receiving this year. One, Brandon Ayuk, who had over 1,200 yards. The young man has had over 1,000 yards rushing in his first 3 years in the NFL. The man is going to get paid. He wants to get paid. And he also said he wants to stay in San Francisco. So this whole taking it personal thing, everyone needs to chill. So, and another thing as well, too, Deebo Samuel almost packed his bags and left as well, too, until offensive changes were made because he was overutilized and used. So what did San Francisco do? They went out there and got themselves a proven running back in CMC. They drafted a Brandon Ayuk, and that took the load off of Deebo Samuel. So therefore, if there's something being said that needs to be said about building a team, John Lynch has done a good job of building a squad. Now I know he hadn't got over the hump of the Super Bowl, and that comes with a little bit of coaching. I will say that. But as far as building this team to come back to back in an NFC championship, San Francisco has done that.
Interesting.
I will say you could say the inverse of that, like, you know, Brandon Ayuk had those good numbers because people had to guard CMC, people had to guard Debo, people had to guard George Kittle. And if Ayuk went to a team that could pay him and doesn't have much around him, like, I don't think he succeeds. Mike, be our mediator right now.
Wow. So, and you're going to ask, this is the toughest one because I am pure bias. I'm an Arizona State guy, guys. That's my man. That's my guy.
That's right.
I watched him play. He made magic for us during a time in Arizona State's football program where I thought we were on the up and up when Herm Edwards came over. You know, he played, you know, I got to see the tail end of him, you know, when he left college. So it's like, dude, I think he's supremely talented. When he went to San Fran, I was like, he's thriving, and he did. And I don't understand San Fran's logic here with not paying the guy. Like, Shannon made the point, and you actually made Shannon's point for him. Because of a guy like Debo on the team, Brandon Ayuk thrives because everyone's going for Debo. You don't know if Debo's going to be running out the backfield or if he's running down the field, down the sideline. That's where the field gets opened up, where a guy like Ayuk comes in, hits that streak, boom. Now you're down the field. Now you got progression. He's got the speed. He's got the body. I don't understand the logic there.
And to make the point of what Mike is saying also, too, yeah, it would be a little hard for Brandon Ayuk to thrive there. Now, he did say if he went to Pittsburgh, he'd be the main guy. Now, here's what he's also got to understand as well, too. He goes to that NFC North, and that NFC North is pretty stacked up right now. You got a healthy Joe Burrow coming back. You've also got Baltimore, who my guys have kind of not been able to get over the hump with in the past few years, seeing them in the regular season. So he's going to have some guys that are going to be breathing down his neck in that division. As for the NFC West, who has a growing Arizona, who has a Seattle, we don't know who they really are yet, and the Rams are having a little trouble with keeping their guys going. Flash and pan Cooper Kupp, but Puka Nacua is actually going to be the guy's going to take his spot, I believe. Cooper Kupp was a flash in the pan, in my opinion. I saw that coming. But with that being said, he has the better chance of winning in San Francisco than he does in Pittsburgh or anywhere else, to be honest with you, where that offense is built.
Well, I don't necessarily appreciate being called out of pocket on my own show because none of my takes are out of pocket, just like this one. Everybody knows it is Top Rope Tuesday here on Boom Broadcasting's YouTube channel. You can subscribe. We're keeping our Top Rope Tuesday. The people have spoken and they absolutely love it. People absolutely loved our live stream last night with the nightcap reviewing Monday Night Raw, myself and Mike. And then I hear he's getting a couple more people, a couple more guests on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Whatever happens, late at night, who knows? But viewer discretion would be advised for that one. What I do want to mention is for our wrestling fans, for our Top Rope Tuesday community that's growing and thriving on Out of Pocket, some big things happened last week on SmackDown, and I haven't had a chance to talk about it because yesterday was full with NBA free agency. I drop my wrestling podcast tomorrow with a very special guest. You guys got to watch and stay tuned to the socials to find out about that. Might be interviewing someone in the independent wrestling community here in the Carolinas. You'll have to find out who. But while I was watching SmackDown, Paul Heyman basically gets kicked out of the bloodline. Solo Sikoa, the Gorillas of Destiny, Jacob Fatu all lay him out. And I was just sitting there like, the dude is like late 50s. Dude is doing some of his best work, I believe, now. And this is a guy who created ECW, literally changed the entire landscape of the wrestling industry through ECW. This is a guy who was associated with the likes of CM Punk or Rob Van Dam or Brock Lesnar. Not only Lesnar's early run, but Lesnar's later run. And Brock Lesnar ended the streak. But then you have this, where Paul Heyman was immediately associated with Roman Reigns through the bloodline and has led there. And now he's being a vital part of on-screen television by, wanting Roman. And then to drop that line last week in Madison Square Garden, that place, I've never heard Madison Square Garden as loud as it was that night when he said, "You are not my tribal chief." Guys, I am not out of pocket in saying this. This is the best version and the best chapter of an already Hall of Fame career in Paul Heyman. And you might as well give him a second Hall of Fame ring just on the sole purpose of what he's done with the bloodline. Mike, I'm not out of pocket for that.
No, absolutely not. Of course, you asked me that as I'm trying to get a little sip of water. No, you're not out of pocket at all for that. Paul Heyman, man, what an incredible, just creative wrestling mind. Like, I implore, if you can find a Paul Heyman, similar mind state kind of guy in wrestling, lock them down as quick as you can, because you'll never have another Paul Heyman. I don't think anyone will ever come close to him when it comes to wrestling and the ideas and the creative and just the ability to convey a story with just his body language. The guy didn't shave. The guy's eyes are bloodshot red. He hasn't slept in weeks, hasn't had a good night's sleep. He looks disheveled. It was starting to really take its effect on him, his physical appearance. And then he gets bopped right through that announce table, just shocking the world. 60 million and counting across WWE social media platforms. The highest liked, viewed content since WrestleMania. Wow. And I told you on this very show, right around WrestleMania time, that the bloodline story had more meat on the bones when Roman lost the title. As soon as that happened, a power vacuum would open within the bloodline. I predicted this months ago, Mike, and you have the footage. You can go back and catch an old out of pocket of me saying this. The power vacuum opened, and look what we've got now, ladies and gentlemen. Killers.
Well, I never want to admit when Mike is right, but I do recall something being said by him on Out of Pocket. But I need to find some more dirt on Mike just to humble him for some reason.
Just drink it in, man.
Drink it in, man. By the way, that is what I can use because he was totally wrong on Chris Jericho. Shannon, this I mean, and Derek even saying like this could be a nominee for moment of the year. I totally agree. This was a monumental moment we can look back on for years and years and years to come. Paul Heyman at his age getting triple power bomb through an announce table. Like this is the greatest run I can remember Paul Heyman having.
Well, when you posed this question to me before the show, I had to do some research. I went back to ECW with Raven and Tommy Dreamer and Rob Van Dam and Sabu and Sandman and all those guys because I loved ECW when I was coming up as a kid. Had to sneak and watch it. Mom and Dad didn't know that I was watching it. And TNN are some bums first and foremost. I want to go ahead and say, you friggin' bums. Why in the world did you get rid of this stuff right here? I had to go without ECW for a minute. You friggin' bum. You bums. You make me sick. In my Ryan Frick voice, you bum? What's wrong with you? But I had to go back and look at everything. Then I had to look at the Brock Lesnar time frame, the Brock Lesnar time with the streak. Then I had to go back and look at the bloodline. And I wanted to debunk this because of the age factor here with me, but I can't. This has to be the best Paul Heyman that I've seen ever because he's embodied this. He's embodied this character, the wise man. He's embodied this character. And with this rift in the bloodline, he's embodying this character even more, taking on the stress, taking on the heartache, taking the phone calls, and being caught in the middle of Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, along with the Gorillas of Destiny, with Jacob Fatu, with the Usos. And this man does not know where to friggin' turn. And it's evident in this story. And it's so friggin' good. This is what we needed in wrestling. And this is why wrestling is cool. This is why wrestling is getting back to its prominence. And this is why wrestling is the ultimate gentleman's sport. Let's go.
About time you guys stop being out of pocket on Out of Pocket. About time you guys agreed with me. And it was all an original idea from me. Shannon
has rage quit. Rage quit because he just can't take enough of Mike being a diva. Man's calling NFL wide receivers divas. He's acting like a diva himself today. Yeah, what? Are you done?
Are you done? That's pretty much going to be my phrase to you right now, MD. Are you done?
Can we start getting Boom Broadcasting t-shirts made and have just a shirt saying "Are you done"?
That's gonna be my shirt. That's it. That's gonna be my freaking shirt.
Did we just have a t-shirt idea?
I'm getting it. It's gonna be done.
Well, you just had a t-shirt idea. Someone stole it. It's over. It's gone.
I'm just wondering of the people watching right now, Out of Pocket Live on a Tuesday evening, would you even buy a shirt of Shannon's saying "Are you done"?
Absolutely, I would.
Would you?
Yes, I'm gonna get it made, and when I get
I'm gonna wear it.
And I sell it. I'm gonna wear it every Out of Pocket. I'm gonna get it in different colors.
I'm gonna get it
in different colors. All that. Shirt's just gonna say, "Are you done?"
Hey, just as long as those aren't 49ers colors at all.
Even better.
But you know what?
Yes.
No.
just to rub salt in the wound of the Cowboys fan, the Soaring Cowboys fan. I can gloat. The Eagles won a Super Bowl. We got embarrassed the other year, but we're still a cooker. You guys are getting left in the dust.
Well, I'm so glad the Philadelphia Eagles finally won one Super Bowl. Let me know how it feels when you've won 5. Okay,
I will. Let me know what century you guys win that next one.
Yo, on an X already asking on X right now. I just got
yeah. Let us know if you guys want to see a Shannon Smith t-shirt. But when we're talking about these customized t-shirts and everything, that reminds me of like these customized Money in the Bank briefcases. I personally loved the old thing for Edge where Edge just carried around a black briefcase. Mike's got his own Money in the Bank briefcase.
when it's all said and done, and Mike doesn't know it's coming, I'm hitting him with the back of the head with this briefcase. I'm cashing in, and I'm taking over my rightful spot as the host of Out of Pocket when I cash this in.
And I'm taking the referee's shirt, and I'm going to count it.
And Shannon's the ref. Exactly. It's over, Mike. The conspiracy's in. We're out to get you.
It wasn't a great idea to invite you guys on the show. But we are closing in. I know we're going to be doing Boom Broadcasting. We're going to be producing a lot of content for you guys, sports, wrestling, more than just sports, and you can go catch Shannon's interview with Aaron Schneider, who's going to be doing Schneider's Cafe, a cooking show on Boom Broadcasting. Excited to announce some more podcasts. So you want to stay tuned to those Boom Broadcasting socials, because I will be dropping some more of those. Just like I will be on Out Pocket's Instagram and socials, be dropping a list of my top Money in the Bank winners and cash-ins, taking their whole winning the ladder match to their reign as Money in the Bank to them actually cash in, having that moment. I'll be dropping that later this evening as part of Tier Tuesday, but we only have a couple more minutes left. Who is winning these Money in the Bank ladder matches this weekend? And yes, this is your That Age Well segment. Mike, do you have any idea?
Oh, I actually just got done wrapping up my Money in the Bank predictions that you can catch on Mouthing Off with Mike. And I was joined by Kicking It with Leo and Tortellini, one half of the Black Masses and Constellations podcast, new podcast on the block, ladies and gentlemen. Check them out. We just did our predictions, and I'm going to tell you right now, we were all in unison, and I guess I'll spoil it. It's just him, Oos. Yeet. In the bank, Oos in the bank, the Yeet case. Jey Uso is going to become Mr. Money in the Bank, and your women's Money in the Bank winner, Chelsea Green. There you have it, folks. That'll age well.
All right. He's confident in that. Shan, are you as confident in those as he is?
Well, with the women's side, it's kind of open season for the women, I believe. I've got Io Sky winning for the women because I think her and Bailey are going to go at it. And I think that would be a great match. But looking at the men, now my heart says L.A. Knight, but that ain't going to happen because I don't think he's going after Cody, and I think that would not be good for him. I think it's going to be the United States or the Intercontinental title that's going to be in his future. But it's got to be Oos. Got to be Jey Uso. It's got to do it. I think it's got to be him because Drew McIntyre and CM Punk are doing their best work right now. You don't want to put LA Knight in a bad predicament. I just feel like it's only right because this is going to set up more for the Bloodline to come back for the Civil War. It's going to set up for them. So, yes, it's got to be it.
So I'm actually really worried because I have a feeling that the women's ladder match, I mean, I could see Tiffany Stratton or Zoe Stark. I feel like Tiffany not win Queen of the Ring. I feel like that's prime opportunity for her to win. And Mike was talking about this last night on the nightcap about, everybody having somebody that could cost them the opportunity to win a ladder match. But I feel like we're not going to get CM Punk there. And I feel like this is going to be the opportunity for Drew McIntyre to win the Money in the Bank briefcase, but go on to try and cash in, and CM Punk cost him yet again. I have a feeling that is what's going to happen. And you know what? I am going to be so upset when that happens. Nick agreeing with Mike and his predictions. Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to happen. Tiffany Stratton and Drew McIntyre are my picks. Guys, we are out of time today on Out Pocket. Out Pocket is back Thursday on this very YouTube channel for Boom Broadcasting. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You're seeing our predictions move in right now of what's going to happen. Yes, Mouth It Off with Mike hosts Nightcap tonight for NXT. Those interested, it'll be at 10:05. Viewer discretion advised. I've dropped my wrestling podcast, Drop the Mic, tomorrow at 2 p.m. with that special interview with an AEW recap from Forbidden Door and preview for Money in the Bank. Again, Out of Pocket moves back on Thursday here on the Boom Broadcasting YouTube channel. But guys, go like, subscribe. Appreciate all the support. And we are going to see you back here Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of Out of Pocket.